Hello and welcome. We are Declan, Dante, Eliza, Riven, Max, and Michael. Our Dlab is working with Kate Udall at the Idaho Office of Refugees. We were initially asked to help improve the English Language Center program. We empathize with a variety of people working in the refugee field. We interviewed people with Boise State University and Glocal. Our team also spent time reading scholarly articles on the best methods of teaching English as a second language, the refugee process, and the biggest challenges facing refugees in the United States. This led us to create our fact sheet. This fact sheet has all the information on Idaho's refugee population, what countries the refugees are coming from, the hardest languages for native English speakers to learn because it's the same reversed. English takes over a year to reach proficiency for native Arabic speakers, like it takes native English speakers over a year to reach proficiency in Arabic. The program's aimed at making a comfortable transition for refugees in Idaho, the road to resettlement, the journey most refugees go on to come to the U.S., the 7 biggest challenges facing refugees in Idaho, and the barriers of learning English as a second language, to explain why it can be so challenging. After we handed this fact sheet to Kate Udall, we came up with the most important themes from our research and interviews.
We had 12 themes in the end, and our top 4 we labeled with purple stickers, which were literacy in both the refugees' native language and in English, trauma they may have faced on their journey over to America, community support from wherever they end up, time and confidence in learning the language and culture, and unprepared volunteers. From these themes, we moved on to our insight statements.
From these themes, we developed 13 insight statements. These 9 aren't the greatest, but had good potential. The red, green, and blue dots are examples of this. There are 4 more insight statements that we believe to be our strongest.
Here are some of our refined insight statements. Sometimes refugees are not fully literate in their own language and struggle with reading and writing, which makes it hard for translators to teach them English. Also, for the first 2 to 7 years the refugees live in the United States, they get $300 a month in financial aid. This support lasts as long as they get jobs, learn English, and maintain a lifestyle. However, this is all hard to juggle. Refugees best learn English when they are supported by the community. And refugees often come to the United States with mental and/or physical trauma. And this insight is a crucial part of respectfully connecting with the refugee community. From these insight statements, we developed a group of how might we statements.
After refining our insight statements, we moved on to how might we statements. Now, these are rough drafts and not top-notch. We move on to those how might we statements later on in the design lab process. Our top how might we statement was how might we enable volunteers to become prepared, confident, helpful, and empathetic in their teaching, knowing that refugees' past can affect the way they learn. Now, this was our main how might we statement that we knew we wanted to iterate on. However, after we decided that we wanted to focus on this how might we statement, we ended up having to pivot due to going remote.
As communities everywhere are experiencing, COVID-19 has forced us to drastically change our lifestyles. We are beyond lucky to be carrying on with our education here at Winston. After a week or so of discussion, we decided to pivot away from helping English learning classes in particular, and are exploring new ways to help the refugee community and ideating right now. Virtual Design Lab has been difficult in that we cannot hold in-person interviews, and collaboration does feel different, but we have confidence in our team to carry this out and finish strong. This pivot led us to a new group of problem statements.
We made how might we statements, or HMWs, out of our problem statements. We came up with 4 topics that we could focus on for how might we's. and they're all focused on the past trauma of refugees and are somewhat pandemic-oriented or affected. The yellow dots on the sticky notes are How Might We's focused on helping refugees with trauma maintain community. The green dots on the sticky notes are representing refugees forming communities. The purple ones are helping refugees complete their obligations and tasks despite past trauma, and the blue ones are helping refugees maintain obligations when it is most challenging, largely due to COVID-19. With these in mind, we came up with our strongest How Might We statement.
How might we sweeten the day of as many refugees as possible in a short amount of time, knowing that they need essential goods, kind words, and community support? From that, we had many ideas. There were some that weren't very plausible with our situation, and some with legs. Ideas we had that clashed with our current situation involved community hikes, community dinners, asking small businesses to donate supplies to refugees, backpacking trips, and outdoor art workshops. We also had ideas that kinda had legs, like somehow transferring global gardens online, One Stone students exploring refugees' native music, and asking different tech companies or the library if they would like to donate computers to refugees so English classes could be held online. We came up with plenty of realistic options, so many in fact that we didn't finish sifting through all of them because we were so passionate about enriching the lives of refugees through care packages and/or mini gardens.
Overall, we got excited about this idea of being able to send something through the mail or deliver some sort of care package. We narrowed it down to a plant with soil and a pot, or another package including educational supplies and other things that the kids and families don't have access to anymore. This was our Dlab presentation. Thank you, and have a good one.